Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Lauren is out showing homes today, so I'm going to give you a map tour of the mountain towns closest to Denver. I'm from one of the mountain towns. My mom still lives up there. It's one of my favorite places. I know it well. So I'm going to give you a little tour, show you all the back roads, and touch on a couple different neighborhoods. All right, so first of all, when I talk about mountain towns, I am going to talk about areas. This is Denver, very zoomed out, but I'm going to be talking about along closest to Denver, like right in here, like Conifer, Evergreen, Bailey, Pine, Genesee, Kittredge, all those little towns. So let's dive in. Okay, so first of all, there is two main highways to get up into the mountains from the Denver area. The main one is right here, and this is I-70, and it is our major highway going east and west in Colorado. It's the one that gets closed all the time, it can be very treacherous in the winter. And then the other one is a little bit further south. This is Highway 285, and it goes up through Conifer, which you might have heard of, and goes southwest and ends right here at C47, or it doesn't end, but it changes and goes into city living. But those are the two main routes to get into the mountains, to get to ski resorts or further in the mountains, those two main highways. There's some smaller ones. You can go through the canyon in Morrison, and it'll spit you out in Evergreen if you kind of zoom in here. So Morrison, of course, this is where the famous Red Rocks Amphitheater is, and you go so this is the Canyon Road, and it is a 2-lane, windy, as you can see, highway, and it will take you all the way up into the heart of Evergreen from Morrison. It takes you through the little town of Iredale and Kittredge. Those are itty-bitty, much smaller towns. People probably refer to them as Evergreen. But you can take that if the highway's closed. It does take forever. I never take that highway, actually, because there's always somebody going, like, I'm not kidding, 15 miles an hour. It's wild, and I can't. I'm too impatient. So I avoid it, but it is a more direct way, especially if you're coming from south, to get to Evergreen, because as you can see, the heart of Evergreen is over here, as where I-70 is still over here. Yeah, and you have to go through, this is Highway 74, this is the main highway from I-70 into Evergreen. Evergreen is really spread out. So we're going to dive into Evergreen first. So if you go up I-70, and it's really not far from C470. Like C470 to the Evergreen exit is like it's definitely under 15 minutes, depending on the weather and traffic. But from here to here, very quick. Okay, so Evergreen is considered right here. Okay, so North Evergreen, right as you get off the highway, there's a Walmart, there's a Home Depot, there's some businesses. I'll show you. Let's dive in. Here it is. This is kind of what it looks like. There's a gas station, there's a Chipotle, all kinds of. This is the newer part of Evergreen. Okay, so like I said, Evergreen is very spread out. So you have North Central right off the highway, and then as you continue on 74, you will reach Bergen Park, which is in right here area, and that's like another section. And as you follow it around, you will hit High One. The High One Golf Club is a really well-known neighborhood right here. Elk Meadow Park is one of the biggest open space parks in the area. Then you have Central Evergreen. And really the heart of Evergreen and downtown Evergreen is actually down here. This is Evergreen Lake right there. And this is really where your little downtown area is. and a lot of the homes and restaurants and all that kind of stuff. This is the older part of Evergreen, as where the further north you get is kind of the newer part of Evergreen. As Evergreen grew, it grew to the north versus the south. So this is the old part of Evergreen. Okay, so here's Evergreen Lake Street View. This is looking to the north. So if you take this street to the north, you would be in the North Evergreen area. And again, there's the lake. It's very pretty. Okay, and then the lake is still right over there. There's the Evergreen Dam. And then as you go in here, the downtown part of Evergreen, there it is. You've got, boutique shops, restaurants, art galleries, Bojo's Pizza. There is parking. It is paid parking. It can be a little difficult to navigate. And then the river runs along here. So this is your little downtown area. There's the Little Bear. It's a famous bar that's been there for decades. You got a winery. You have some great breakfast places. And then if you continue down this road, this is Bear Creek or Highway 74, you will end up in Kittredge and Idledale, and then finally to Morrison. That this is the 2-lane highway that takes you down there. Yeah, this is the 2-lane highway. This is kind of the backside of downtown. We have some more businesses. There's some apartments and condo-like living. Here's the Lariat Lodge. This is a great restaurant. And as you just continue down, this is that 2-lane highway I was talking about. That's kind of terrible to drive. Very pretty though. This is Evergreen Parkway. It's a 4-lane highway until you get to the lake or downtown. So a lot of Evergreen, again, it's just so spread out and it looks like, this. It's very pretty. There's neighborhoods, businesses, car washes, 2 grocery stores, but it looks a lot like this. Okay, this is a street view of the High One neighborhood in the middle of Evergreen, one of the most popular neighborhoods, the High One Golf Club. It's nice because it is, as you can see, so lots of space, lots of beautiful scenery, open space, and gorgeous homes. So moving on from Evergreen. So like I said, this is the 2-lane highway that goes down to Morrison. And then North Evergreen's that way. You got the lake is here. But then the secret back road to the rest of the mountain towns, I guess, is Highway 73. And it's gonna run. Okay, so as you go on Highway 73 here, it's kind of the back way to Conifer, and you'll go through South Evergreen, Evergreen Meadows, which is kind of in the middle. It's kind of like no man's land. It's in the middle of Conifer and Evergreen. There's not a lot of amenities. There's just a lot of homes and neighborhoods. So Highway 73 goes here. Like this. Boom, boom, boom. There's your Evergreen Meadows, which is, again, there's really not a lot. There's a couple things here. This is called Marshdale. It's not a real town, but this area is called Marshdale. And there are a couple businesses. There's like a burger place, a gas station, and all that, but there's not really a lot. There's mostly just neighborhoods. This is another street. North Turkey Creek will take you from Highway 73 to Highway 285, and then we'll take you to C470 and to Morrison, if that makes sense. And Highway 73 is a 2-lane highway. Let's take a peek at what that kind of looks like around here. So yeah, this is very much what it looks like. This is one of the neighborhoods. This is Evergreen Meadows, and it is a 2-lane highway all the way through. Yep, this is the heart of Evergreen Meadows right here. So this is very much what it looks like as you're cruising down Highway 73. It can also be slow. It probably takes, honestly, 20 to 30 minutes to get from Evergreen to Conifer on Highway 73, just so you know. This is Marshdale, what I was talking about. So there's a little bed and breakfast here. There's the bistro at Marshdale, which is it's a pretty classy, upscale restaurant right here. But mostly just homes, mountain homes in this area in between Conifer and Evergreen. And there again is Marshdale. There's like a burger place, Marcy's Automotive, fire station. Okay, and as we are continuing along 73, we are going to, here we go, Shadow Mountain Drive. This is really more towards Conifer. This is like Conifer. I know it says Aspen Park. Aspen Park is an area of Conifer, but it's not a real address. I don't know what it is with the mountain towns. Like, that's Aspen Park, but there is no address of Aspen Park. There's just Conifer. So here is Conifer. Conifer is my hometown where I'm from. And it is right off Highway 285. So I was showing you in the beginning, this is Highway 285. And I just showed you the back way to connect the two. Conifer is probably the second most well-known town right outside of Denver. It really, from like Aspen Park here, it actually only takes 12 minutes to get to C470 down 285. It's very quick. Now, if you live in some, like up on some of these mountain roads and neighborhoods, it's gonna take you a bit longer. But from the highway, from Aspen Park, you're looking at, 12, 15 minutes to get to C470 in the Morrison area. It's really not bad. Very close. Completely different feel. You lose, like, Conifer sits at like over 8,000 feet in elevation. So you lose like 3,000 feet in elevation just in those, short 10, 12 miles. Okay, so here's kind of the middle of Conifer. This is Highway 285, and it runs straight through Conifer. There's, side roads, but the highway runs right through it. And this is kind of what it looks like. There's not a lot in Conifer, but there is, you have your banks, you have automotive places, there's Big O Tires, there's your gas stations, there's the park and ride for the bus that will take you to Denver if you ever need it. There's the King Supers. We do have a Qdoba and a Wendy's. There's liquor stores, and again, just a lot of open space, parks. It's very mountain living, and this is what it looks like. So we're going south on 285 to show you kind of Conifer, and yeah, that's a lot of it. Okay, now Conifer, a lot of the neighborhoods, they're going to be off like these roads, Shadow Mountain, Kennedy Gulch, or Conifer Mountain, and then Pleasant Park. They all kind of look the same, and I'll take you, in their own ways. Okay. This is South Conifer. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier. We were going north towards Denver, and I get confused. So south. South is away from Denver on 285. North is to Denver. This is the Safeway Center. Again, it's all very spread out. There's no sidewalks. It's not walkable. This over here is Conifer High School. So that's Conifer High School. That's where I went to school. Again, it's all about the highway. There's a few more restaurants, gas stations, shopping up here, but not a lot. Okay, so this is the Pleasant Park street or neighborhood, so you call it. There's not a lot of HOA areas in Conifer. It is very country, rural living. There's a lot of horse properties, acreage, that kind of thing. Much more so than Evergreen. This is a paved road. There's a lot more dirt roads in Conifer, and there is, less people, less amenities. This is what a lot of Conifer looks like. Here's another, this is up Shadow Mountain, another street. And again, this actually looks paved, but it's not. It is dirt or like composite asphalt, like a mixture of the two. There is school buses that come up these roads, which is crazy, especially in the winter, but they do. And you can just see it's very rural, mountain, country living. Okay, and I'm just going to touch on a few other things really quickly. Those are the main two areas that I wanted to go over, but Aspen Park. So then as you go further south on 285, you will hit the Pine Junction area, which is another mountain town, so to say. So from Conifer, if you follow 285, you're going to hit Pine Junction area, which is another little mountain town. Then off 285 further is Pine and Buffalo Creek and the Foxton area. This is all, well, Foxton's kind of part of Conifer, but Pine is another little town. Really, Pine is far though. Like if you're Pine to 285 over here is 45 minutes. And then if you keep going, you have Bailey, which is another really popular mountain town. It's in Park County, not in Jefferson County. I think the county line's like somewhere right actually here near Will-o'-the-Wisp is the county line. Park County is known for cheaper property taxes. Jefferson County is the most populated, which Conifer and Evergreen are in, but Bailey's in Park County. So Bailey has a lot of outdoor recreation. There's Staunton State Park is out here, which has miles of hiking, biking trails. There's just a lot to do. Down by Buffalo Creek, you have like fishing in the river, camping, all kinds of cool stuff. So that's, but that's really for another video to get into. I could talk forever. I want to just stay kind of on these front area ones. So then coming back to Conifer, if you go down 285, the last area, like all along 285 here, there's different neighborhoods and housing all along right off 285 here that are really close to the Denver metro area, where it's very feasible for you to live in the mountains, right, in these areas and commute to Denver for work if you needed to. Even when, the roads are snowy or whatever, it's not very fun, but it's very doable. And then also, the mountain towns are just so weird. Like Genesee is not an actual town. It's not a mailing address. It's all Evergreen or actually Golden. So Golden, if you're doing a home search, make sure you don't, Genesee, if you live here, it's actually Golden. You live in Golden is your mailing address. And as you can see, Golden is technically right here. And then actually like Morrison is a lot of this area. Okay, so this is Morrison, and the address of Morrison actually goes all the way up 285. Like this is all Morrison, to basically like here almost. That's all Morrison. All Morrison. It's weird. I don't know why they did it that way, but they did. So anywhere that has a Morrison address can really have a very mountain feel, and actually, you can be like basically in Conifer, but you have a Morrison address. So if you're looking for that, Morrison is close to Denver, but still kind of in the mountains. There's a lot of great neighborhoods. The Homestead is a more upscale neighborhood. It kind of has the same kind of feeling as High One. Over in Evergreen has paved roads and, nicer homes, easier commute, that kind of thing. And then Indian Hills is actually another little mountain town that has its own post office and mailing address section. And it is essentially this area here. So that's it. Those are some great, I will dive into some of the smaller places in another video, but I just wanted to give you guys kind of an overview of, these mountain towns that are really close to Denver. And, I know it's everyone's dream to live in the mountains. So if you have questions, want to know more, want to know if it's for you, please reach out to us. We would love to show you.